glucopyranose. What we are calling, students, alpha D plus glucopyranose we are calling it as. So why we are calling it as pyranose means because pyran is a six-membered heterocyclic compound. So the alpha D plus glucose is resembling the structure of pyran. That's why we are giving the suffix alpha D plus glucopyranose. Understood, students? Like that, we have given that is beta D glucopyranose also. Okay, and these two we are calling it as anomers. Okay, because it is having that is the configuration is changed at single carbon atom. So here the configuration is changed at the first carbon atom. That's why this alpha D glucopyranose and beta D glucopyranose we are calling it as anomers. Okay, students. So I hope you have gone through the last class notes. Students, this is we are doing organic chemistry. You should not postpone the that is you should not postpone the learning. So today what I am saying you have to practice today itself, and while coming tomorrow when I am saying the topic, so that you can understand very easily, because whatever I have teach yesterday, that it is having connection with the today's class, students. So the nature of organic chemistry is you have to read daily, students, otherwise it will be difficult. Okay, so here, because whatever I'm teaching today, that it is having connection with the previous class. So don't neglect the subject. So daily you have to read before coming to class also you have to. Right, students? Next, today I am going to discuss about one more monosaccharide called that is fructose. One more monosaccharide I am going to discuss, that is fructose. Okay, students. So here, let us write the that is structure of fructose here. Fructose. Okay, fructose. Fructose it is comes under the which type of this one, students? Fructose is comes under the that is it comes under a compound called ketohexose. It is a monosaccharide, student. Fructose also comes under that is which category, students? It also comes under monosaccharide, students. Okay, just like our glucose, it comes under the monosaccharide. Okay, students. So you know that glucose is which type of monosaccharide, students? Glucose is which type of monosaccharide? Okay, because glucose is having 6 carbons. Glucose is having 6 carbons. Already I have discussed in the previous class. 6 carbons means the sugar, the monosaccharide with 6 carbons. What we are calling it as, students? We are calling it as hexose. We are calling it as hexose. And glucose is having which functional group, students? It is having the CHO functional group, students. Aldehyde functional group. That's why we are calling it as aldohexose. Aldohexose, students. And if you take the fructose, fructose is fructose comes under which type of that is monosaccharide. I will draw the structure of fructose, students, so you can able to tell. You have to name the fructose. It comes under which type of monosaccharide. Okay, students. And now I will draw the structure of this one. Okay. So this is the structure of the fructose. You see the, students, carefully you observe the structure of fructose. So it is having the that is which functional group. By writing this structure, you will be able to make that is it comes under which type of that is monosaccharide. It is also monosaccharide, student, and you have to say which type of monosaccharide is fructose. Okay, so I am drawing the structure. So I hope everybody is seeing the structure in your mobile screens. Okay, students, and here, so far I have drawn 4 carbon, students. Fifth carbon, as well as this is the sixth carbon. Now you tell the students, fructose comes under which type of monosaccharide? Triose, pentose, or tetrose, or hexose, students? Yes, many of them they have said correct. It is comes under a ketohexose. Okay, okay, students, nice, good. Okay, it is having 6 carbon, students. Fructose is having how many carbons, students? 6 carbons it is having. So you can see here that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 carbons means it comes under the monosaccharide called hexose, students. And it is having the functional group, students. So it is having, this is a functional group. It is having this functional group. So this functional group we are calling it as keto group, students. So we are calling this as, that is ketohexose. Which type of compound, student, this is? It is, we are calling it as ketohexose, students. Ketohexose. Right, students? Okay. So it is an ketohexose. So now I have introduced the structure of that is fructose. Now let us discuss some more interesting points about the fructose. Okay, students, let us know in detail. Okay, let us students. My voice is, it is clear or not, students? Are you able to hear my voice clearly? Okay, students. Okay, fine. Let us go further. That is uh, some more details. Let us look into some more details of fructose. Fructose comes under ketohexose. And fructose, how we have got, students? So fructose will be obtained by hydrolysis. It is obtained by the hydrolysis of sucrose. It is obtained by the hydrolysis of sucrose. Sucrose on hydrolysis. Sucrose on hydrolysis. We are going to get, sucrose comes under which type of monosaccharide? It is comes under disaccharide. Sucrose is a disaccharide. Disaccharide means it is having two monosaccharide units. Sucrose on hydrolysis. What you are going to get, students? You are going to get glucose plus fructose. Sucrose on hydrolysis, you are going to get glucose plus fructose. Understood, students? Next, what is the molecular formula of this fructose, students? Molecular formula of fructose is that is C6H12O6. That means same as the molecular formula of glucose. Both glucose and fructose are having the same molecular formula, students. That is C6H12O6, students. C6H12O6. Right. Next, if you are taking, it comes under which type of designation? Means it comes under D series only, students. So I said sugars are having two types of configurations. Configurations are notations. One is we are calling it as D notation. Other we are calling it as L notation. Okay, students. So here you see the asymmetric carbon, students. Here this is the asymmetric carbon. Last asymmetric carbon in fructose. Fifth carbon is the asymmetric carbon. The asymmetric carbon, where is the OH, students? The OH is present at the, that is right side, students. The OH is present at the right side to the CH2OH. Now you say, students, we have to assign which configuration, students, for this one? Which configuration we have to assign, students? We have to assign D configuration. Yes, students, very good. Yes, we have to assign D configuration to this also. So we have to assign D. Okay, and we have to assign, that is we have to assign, that is it is an levorotatory, students. So D minus fructose we have to call D minus fructose. Okay, so the configuration is D and this is this minus symbol. Minus symbol means levorotatory. What do you mean by levorotatory, students? Levorotatory means which will turn the plane polarized light to the left side direction. Levorotatory is which will turn the plane polarized light to the left side direction. That we are calling it as levorotatory. Okay, which will turn the plane polarized light. Okay, it is you might, I said in the last class, in the previous classes. So optical activity means the compound which can rotate the plane polarized light, that we are calling it as optical active compounds, and the phenomena we are calling it as optical activity. Okay, students. So what is meant by optical activity, students? Okay, optical activity is nothing but optical activity or optical activity means what is meant by optical activity, students? The compounds, certain organic compounds is having the ability to rotate the plane polarized light. Certain organic compounds is having the ability to rotate the plane polarized light. Understood, students? So if the compound is rotating, that is to the clockwise direction, we are calling it as dextro. Anti-clockwise direction, or that is left side direction, means we are calling it as levorotatory. So now for the fructose, which sign I have given? minus sign I have here. Minus means levorotatory. That means this fructose solution, when you are taking and you are passing the plane polarized light, this fructose solution will rotate the plane polarized to the left side direction or anti-clockwise direction. Okay, left side direction or anti-clockwise direction it will rotate. That's why we are calling this as a levorotatory compound. Glucose is an dextrorotatory compound, students. Dextrorotatory means it will rotate the plane polarized light to the right side direction. Understood? Fructose means left side direction. That is the difference. And both are having the same configuration. Glucose is D, fructose is also D. Okay. If you take glucose is D, students, D plus glucose. Okay, both are same, D and D, but glucose is a dextrorotatory and fructose is a levorotatory compound. I hope you understood, students. Now let us go for the structure of the fructose. So before going to the structure of the fructose, like glucose, it also is able to exist in two cyclic forms. It also exists in two cyclic forms. Fructose also exists in how many cyclic forms, students? Same as like a glucose, it also exists in two cyclic forms. It also exists in two cyclic forms. Understood, students? Okay, these two cyclic forms, how we are going to get? If you see the case of glucose, the glucose, the C1 carbon is reacting with the C5 carbon. The C1 carbon is reacting with the C5 carbon, students. Okay, the C1 carbon is reacting with the C5 carbon. Here also the same case, students. The thing is here, we are going to get that is but here the reaction is there between second carbon as well as fifth carbon. In glucose, you can see the formation of acetal, formation of heavy acetal at C1 and C5 positions. That means C1 carbon aldehyde group is reacting with the C5 carbon OH group, and we are going to get hemiacetal, students. But here in fructose, if you see the fructose, which carbons are reacting means the second carbon as well as fifth carbon. These two carbons will react, students. The second carbon, okay, as well as fifth carbon. These two will react, and we are going to get the two cyclic structures. How glucose is able to form two cyclic structures? In a similar manner, the fructose is also able to form cyclic structures. Okay, so like a glucose, fructose also exists in two cyclic forms, I said, students. Okay, which are how we are going to get? It is obtained by the addition of OH. It is obtained by the addition of OH to the carbonyl group. Okay, so here that means I will be write once again the reaction between that is carbonyl group. Okay, this is a ketone group, students. This is a ketone group, and this is our that is alcohol group. Okay, so I have written both ketone as well as alcohol group. This two is going to get react. This two is going to get react. And what you are going to get? We are going to get that is ketols. You are going to get a ketol, students. Last class I explained this reaction. You are going to get that is a compound called ketols like this. This is an ketol, hemiketol we used to call this. This we are calling it as that is hemiketol. This we are calling it as hemiketol. We are calling it as hemiketol, students. Understood, students? So here, like this, here the reaction is taking place between two different compounds. One is aldehyde, that is ketone, other is alcohol. So this is which type of reaction, students? This is intermolecular reaction, student. Reaction which I have drawn that comes under intermolecular reaction. Why I am saying it as intermolecular means because, students, this is a reaction which is taking place between two different compounds. Whereas in fructose, the reaction is taking place within the compound only, students. In the fructose, the reaction is taking place within the compound. But here, it is taking place between two compounds. So here, that's why this that reaction we are calling it as intramolecular reaction. Okay, intramolecular reaction in fructose is due to the reaction between that is C2 carbon as well as C5 carbon. The reaction is between C2 carbon and C5 carbon. So here intramolecular reaction will take place because in fructose only you can see two different functional group. One is aldehyde functional group, other is alcohol functional group. That means within the molecule only, one functional group is reacting with other functional group. Within the molecule only, the one functional group is reacting with other functional group. That's why this reaction we are calling it as intramolecular reaction. Okay, intramolecular reaction in fructose is nothing but the reaction between a carbonyl group which is present at the second carbon and OH group which is present at the fifth carbon. That means you can see the formation of hemiketol in within the fructose. You can see the formation of hemiketol within the fructose. Same how glucose is reacting, the aldehyde group and alcohol group. In the similar manner, the fructose also reacting, that is carbonyl group and OH group. What is the difference means in glucose? You can see that is the aldehyde group is reacting with the alcohol group. Okay, first carbon is reacting with the fifth carbon of OH group. But in fructose, the second carbon, which is having ketone group, that is reacting with the fifth carbon. Okay, students. Understood, students? Now, I am going to draw the structure. And here in glucose, we have compared that cyclic structure of glucose with that is an organic compound called pyran. In fructose, we are going to compare with the compound called furan. We are going to compare with the compound called furan. That means glucose has, this is the skeletal ring which the glucose has been formed, students. Is it or not? In the last class, if you have studied, so you will be knowing that this is the skeletal structure, cyclic skeletal structure of glucose, students. 6-membered ring it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, and one more will be there here. Total 6-membered ring, students. Okay, you can see 6 vertices. You can see the 6 vertices. Total we have the 6-membered rings. But in fructose, what happens, students, means we'll be having that is only 5-membered rings, students. Because in fructose, first I will write in glucose. In glucose, the reaction is taking place between which carbon and which carbon, students? C1 carbon of aldehyde group. C1 carbon of aldehyde group and C5 carbon of OH group. C1 carbon of aldehyde group, fine, and C5 carbon of OH group. And the ring which we are going to get is which type of ring, students? We are going to get 6-membered ring. Which ring, students? 6-membered ring. The ring which we are going to get when the C1 carbon is reacting with C5 carbon is 6-membered ring, students. We are going to get. That 6-membered ring, what we are calling, student? We are calling it as which ring, student? Pyranose structure, because it is having the similar structure. What you are seeing in the figure. Now, in the case of fructose, students, the reaction will take place. The reaction will take place between that is C1 carbon and C2 carbon and C5 carbon. C2 carbon, C5 carbon. I will write, students, clearly. In fructose, you can compare. You can make a comparative study. Okay, in fructose, that is the reaction will take place between C2 carbon and C5 carbon, students. C2 carbon is having which group, students? It is having the ketone group, students. It is having the ketone group. And C5 carbon is having that is which functional group, students? It is having the OH functional group, students. OH functional groups. And which type of ring it will form in fructose, students? In fructose, you can see the formation of that is a 5-membered ring, student. You can see the formation of a 5-membered ring. When C2 carbon is reacting with the C5 carbon, which membered ring you can see, student? You can see the 5-membered ring. You can see the 5-membered ring. When C2 carbon in fructose is reacting with C5 carbon, the C2 carbon, that is ketone group, is reacting with the C5 carbon. You can see the 5-membered ring. Okay, 5-membered ring, that we are calling it as furanose structure, students. What is the name of that structure, students? We are calling it as furanose. We are calling the structure, we are calling it as furanose structure. Say 6-membered ring glucose structure, 6-membered cyclic structure, we are calling it as pyranose. 5-membered that is the ring that we are calling it as furanose. Why means because it is having the analogy with a 5-membered cyclic ring called furan. This is furan, students. This is furan. A heterocyclic compound, student. This is which type of compound, students? Heterocyclic compound. This is a furan. So why we are calling it as heterocyclic compound, students? So we have two types of cyclic compound, students. One is cyclic compounds are classified into two types, students. Cyclic compounds, if you are taking, it is classified into how many types, students? It is classified into two types, students. One is we are calling it as homocyclic compound, students. Homocyclic. And other is we are calling it as heterocyclic, students. We are calling it as heterocyclic. One is homocyclic, other is heterocyclic, students. So what is homo and hetero? So if I am drawing the cyclohexane structure, so this is the structure I am going to draw. Okay. Otherwise, I will draw just down so that you can understood. Just I will down. I will draw the students. Just a minute. Here I am going to draw. Homocyclic means example cyclohexane, cyclopentane, cyclopropane. All this we are calling it as homocyclic. That means here the ring carbon atoms. The ring carbon atoms are same, student. So that these are all the ring carbon atoms. All the ring carbon atoms are carbon, 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 carbon. So if all the ring carbon atoms, if all the ring atoms are same, if all the ring atoms are same, that we are calling it as homocyclic. Okay. If one ring atom is different, suppose if one ring atom is different, that we are calling it as heterocyclic. So if one ring atom is different like this, you can see in the case of furan. Okay, in the case of furan, you can see that is one ring is, or you can draw like this. This is structure of furan, students. This is the structure. Here, 4 ring atoms total. It is how much? How many ring member, students? It is an 5-member ring, students. It is an how many member ring, students? It is an 5-member ring, students. In this 5-member ring, 4 atoms are same. 4 are which atoms, students? 4 are carbon atoms. 4 are carbon atoms. One is which atom, student? Oxygen atom. If one atom is different and remaining all are same, that comes under heterocyclic. Understood, students? I hope you understood what is the difference between the homocyclic and heterocyclic. Homocyclic means all the ring atoms are same element, that we are calling as homocyclic. If one ring atom is different, that we are calling it as heterocyclic. Understood, students? Okay, now let us discuss about that is now we have to give that is how we are calling glucose cyclic structure as pyranose. Like that, fructose structures we are calling it as furanose. We are calling it as furanose. Right, students? Now I will draw that furanose structures. Okay. So here fructose also is able to form two types of crystalline forms. One is alpha and beta. How glucose is forming. First, I will draw that is alpha structure. So before that, I will show you the fructose structure so that you can compare. So this is our fructose structure. CH2OH, first carbon. Second carbon is C double bond O. Third carbon is you can see like this. From third is OH is at left side, and fourth carbon, fifth, and sixth. See here the structure from third carbon onwards. From third carbon onwards, the structure is same for glucose as well as fructose. From third carbon onwards, the structure is same for glucose as well as fructose. Okay, this is first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay, students. Right. Now I will draw the alpha form of fructose, students. Alpha. So I said, no? So which groups are reacting, students? At second carbon as well as second carbon as well as fifth carbon. These are reacting students. Okay. Second carbon and fifth carbon. Second and fifth. These are reacting students. Okay. So you can see the reaction between this second carbon as well as fifth carbon. Second carbon OH group. Okay. Second carbon ketone group and fifth carbon OH group. These two are going to get react. And we are going to get two forms, students. I am drawing that two forms here so that you can understood. Okay. So first I am going to draw alpha form. In alpha form, you can see the OH group will be at the right side position. How we have the OH group is at right side for glucose. The same is for the fructose also. In fructose also, if the OH group is at right side, that we are calling it as alpha form. And in glucose, if the OH group is at left side to the first carbon, that we are calling it as beta form. In fructose, the OH group should be at left side for the second carbon. Okay. So with respect to glucose, students, alpha and beta, how we have differentiated. With respect to glucose, how alpha and beta has been differentiated. Once again, I will show that one so that you can know clearly. Okay, in the last class, I am going to the last class discussion. Okay, it will take time to appear in your screen because I am scrolling the screen, students, slowly. In some mobiles may struck while I am scrolling the screen. Okay, now we got the structure. Just a minute, students. Yes, we got the structure. Students, now everybody are able to see the last class that is on your screen, alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. Everybody, students, are you able to see? Students, are you able to see everybody? The last class, alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose. Yes, fine. In your mobile screen, it is appearing because some mobile screens they are stuck. Yes, fine, fine. Okay, students. Now, okay. In alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose, you can see in alpha D plus glucose, OH is present. You see the students here. Where is the OH, students, here? OH is present at the, that is right side. So here you can see the OH is present at the right side. So the OH is present at the right side to the, which carbon, student? First carbon. That's why we are calling it as alpha. That's why we are calling it as alpha. In beta D plus glucose, where is the OH group is present, students? The OH group is present at which side, students? It is present at the left side. It is present at the left side. Okay, students? It is present at the left side. Okay, here the left side. That's why we are calling this as beta D plus glucose. That means alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose, we are differentiating at by seeing the OH group position. If the OH group is present at right side of the first carbon, that we are calling it as alpha D plus glucose. If the OH group is present at the left side of the first carbon, that we are calling it as beta D plus glucose. Right. Similarly here also in fructose, but we are taking at second carbon, not at first carbon. Which carbon we are taking? We are taking at second carbon. Right. So by seeing the OH group position at second carbon, if the OH group is at left side of the second carbon, that we are calling it as beta. The OH group is to the second carbon at right side, that we are calling it as alpha, students. I will draw that one. Just I am scrolling the screen, students. Slowly it will come in on your mobile screen. Now we got to the fructose structure. Okay. Now in all of your mobiles, that means you can see the fructose structure. Now I am going to draw the alpha form. Right, students? So here CH2OH. Okay, the reaction is between CH2OH and C double bond O. Now I will draw the alpha structure first. So this is this CH2OH I am writing first, students. This CH2OH is connected to the carbon. It is connected to the carbon. So this is the first carbon, students. This is the first carbon, and this is the, that is second carbon. This second carbon, okay, students, it is having the, that is OH group, because in ketol, if you see the formation of ketol, student, in ketol, what you can see, students, here I have drawn the structure. Okay, in ketol you can see the OH group is present, as well as the one more group, that is alkoxy group is present. Right. So that means to the second carbon I have to show two connectivities. One is the OH, other is OR dash. Right, students? So now I will draw the structure so that you can understand clearly. Yes. Now here this second carbon is attached to the OH. One more bond I will show. Next, third carbon. Third carbon, where is the OH group, students? OH group is at left side. That means we have to place for third carbon, the OH group is at left side. Remaining the structure is same, students. OH group we have to keep at left side. Right. OH group we are keeping at this side, OH group. Next here, hydrogen students. Next here, hydrogen. Next, carbon. Next, fourth carbon, where is the OH student? OH is at left side. Sorry, hydrogen is at left side. Here also left side. Where is the OH students for fourth carbon? OH group is at right side. Here also right side. Fifth carbon, hydrogen is at left side. Here also left side. Now second carbon and fifth carbon has been reacted. Now we have to show the bond. That is, both are having that is connection with the oxygen like this. And sixth carbon as usual, CH2OH. Sixth carbon as usual, that is CH2OH. So this we are calling it as, which compound strength we are calling it as alpha. Designation is D. Notation is configuration is D, and it is a levorotatory D minus. Okay, fructofuranose. Okay, I hope you understood, students. If you have any doubts, you can message in chat box. So I will give 1 minute time for you, 2 minutes, and later I will draw the second beta structure. Students, if you have, is it clear, students? Just I will wait for 2 minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask so that we can proceed to the beta structure, students. I hope everybody is getting. If you have any doubts, you can clearly post in chat box, students. Okay. Sorry, in glucose also glucose also intramolecular reaction. Yes, correct, that is. And one student is asking why C2 and C5 reacts. Why C2 and C5 reacts means because here the reaction is between the carbonyl group, because the at second carbon we have the functional group. That's why C2 is reacting. And why fifth carbon is reacting means we are going to get that is a 5-membered ring. Fifth carbon OH group is there here. Okay, here sixth carbon won't participate because sixth carbon is primary carbon. Secondary carbon will react. I hope you understood. Okay. Next, if you have still, I will wait for 1 more minute, student. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, you can post in the chat box so that I will be knowing, so that I can draw the next structure, that is beta D plus glucose or beta D minus fructose. Okay, students. Now I am drawing that is beta D minus fructose. Fine, students. So beta D minus fructose means nothing but here just we have to draw the structure like this. This is alpha for alpha, and now I am drawing the beta. So beta means where will be the OH? The OH will be at the left side of that is second carbon. Okay, right. I will draw the structure. See the students. So here first you have to take that is CH2OH. First I will draw second carbon, student. So second carbon. Otherwise better here. CH2OH. Okay, first carbon, student. This is the first carbon. Next is second carbon. This is our second carbon, students. Fine. Next to the second carbon, the OH group should be present at which side, student? For alpha, the OH group is at right side, the second carbon. Here the OH group should be at left side. That's it. That is the only difference. So this type of alpha D minus fructose and beta D fructose, this we are calling it as anomers. Anomers means the compounds which have the different configuration at only one carbon. Anomers are the compounds in which the configuration is changed at one carbon only. Okay. Glucose, alpha D glucopyranose and beta D glucopyranose, those are also anomers. Those are C1 anomers. These are C2 anomers. Why we are calling it as C1 anomers for alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose means because there is a configuration is changed at first carbon. That's why we are calling it as C1 anomers. Here the configuration is changed at the second carbon. That I will draw, students. So you will be knowing after drawing the structure. So this is the third carbon. You can see the third carbon OH group is that is left side, hydrogen is at the right side. Fourth carbon, hydrogen is okay. You can compare the beside structure. This is fourth, fifth, and sixth. This is the third carbon, student, and this will be the fourth carbon. So fourth carbon, hydrogen and OH, same. We will be having the same. Both are same, students. Everything is same, students. Only at the C2 only the configuration is different. Here you can see, students, clearly. You can compare the structure with this structure. Now you can see an linkage between C2 carbon and C5 carbon, students. Right, students? Now you can check, students. This we are calling it as beta D. That is, what is the name of this compound, student? This we are calling it as beta D minus fructofuranose. Fructofuranose. Now you can compare both structures, the structure with this structure. You have a look for a few seconds. So at which carbon the configuration is different? At which carbon the configuration is different? That you see, student. Only the configuration is different at the C2 carbon. Remaining everything is same, student. Remaining everything is same. Only the configuration is different at the C2, second carbon only. Remaining the configuration is same at third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and sixth carbon. Please have a look. You can compare both structures, the structure with this structure. So you will be knowing which configuration is same, which configuration is different. Both are having the same configuration, students. Okay. Now you understood the difference between that is alpha D fructofuranose and beta D fructofuranose. Okay. One student is asking that in fructose it differ at C2. So it is epimers. Fructose epimers. Epimers. Okay, just I will check it just. Next, epimers, anomers means at C1. Fructose. Okay. Yes, that is C1 carbon. We are calling it as anomers. Configuration changes C1 carbon. We are calling it as anomers. Okay. Okay. I will draw a structure next. So you can find out. So here, let us draw a structure of these things. Yes, anomers means these are the compounds which have the configuration change at one carbon. Okay, C1 carbon in that is glucose. What I am saying means in glucose, the configuration is changed at the first carbon, C1 carbon. Okay, at one carbon, the configuration change that we are calling it as anomers. At one carbon, if the configuration change that we are calling it as anomers. Fructose also, we are calling it as that is epimers and anomers. But in textbook, what I read is that is they have given it as anomers itself. Okay, students. So here, I will make it clear, students. Okay. So here, if you are taking this fructose is also having that is same. The configuration is same. That is at one carbon only. You can see the configuration is changed in the case of fructose. Okay, students. So this we are calling it as that is if the configuration is changed at one carbon. Okay, students, the configuration is changed at one carbon, that we are calling it as anomers. In glucose, the configuration is changed at the first carbon. Okay, that's why we are calling it as C1 anomers. Glucose, what we are calling, students? We are calling it as C1 anomers. This one, that is in fructose, if here also the configuration is changed at the second carbon. So here, if the configuration is changed at the second carbon, that we are calling it as C2 anomers or epimers. C2 anomers are epimers. I hope you understood, students. C2 anomers are epimers, we used to call it as. Okay, because the configuration is changed at the only at one carbon, so that's why we are calling it as C2 carbon, or we are calling it as epimers. And I hope you understood, students. Okay, don't get confused. If the configuration is changed at only at one carbon, that we are calling it as anomers. Okay, in the case of glucose, at first carbon, it has been changed. That's why we are calling it as C1 anomers. If you want to say fructose as epimers, you have to say epimers. But if you want to say at anomers means you have to mention the position, that is C2 anomers. You have to mention it is as C2 anomers. Okay. Okay, students. That we are calling it as C2 anomers or epimers. Okay, students, understood? Fine. Now I will draw the that is structure. So here, first let us draw the this first I have to draw the alpha D, that is fructose. Alpha D fructofuranols we will draw. Okay, students. Let us draw structure. Just a minute. So by seeing this structure, we can draw this one. Just I will clear the board. Okay, I will draw the structure. See here. So it is also forming, there is 5-member ring like this. It is forming a 5-member ring like this. Okay. Next here, you have to place, you have to draw a line at the that is 4 vertices. Like this, you have to draw the lines at 4 vertices. Next, CH2OH. This we will place here, students. CH2OH we will place here. Fine. Next, the OH group we have to place it down. Okay, students. This is the first carbon, student, and this is the second carbon, and this will be the third, fourth, fifth, and here this we are calling it as sixth. Okay, students. Third carbon. Okay, we have OH, H. Okay, here this third carbon, the left side one we have to place at top, the right side one we have to place at down, left up, right down, left up, that is right down. Here we have to, this one we have to keep it as up, because here this position will be upside, 3-dimensional it will be upside down, and the low priority group is hydrogen, that will be at downside. So what you are going to get at fourth carbon, hydrogen is at left side, so you have to write it as up, and OH is at down. And at fifth carbon, where that is CH2OH will be upside. Okay, or you can write like this, CH2OH you can write like this. Okay, just a minute. Right, students, so this is the sixth carbon. This is, we are calling it as sixth carbon. So this we are calling it as, what is the name of this structure, students? Alpha. What is the name of this one? Alpha D. Okay, alpha D minus. Alpha D minus. Alpha D minus fructofuranose. Alpha D minus fructofuranose. In a similar manner, we can draw that is beta D minus fructofuranose. Beta D minus fructofuranose. That I am going to draw, students. See it carefully. Beta D minus fructofuranose I am drawing now. So this is our beta D fructofuranose. By seeing this structure, I am going to draw this beta D minus fructofuranose. Just a minute, students. Okay. So this is our or beta D minus fructofuranose. So now I am going to have the Haber structure of this or cyclic structure of this beta D fructofuranose. Okay, students. Now also here also I have to draw the 5-membered ring like this. 5-membered ring. Okay. After drawing the 5-membered ring at 4 vertices, you place the straight line like this. It should touch the vertices like this. Right, student? So here, when you are placing this one here, now you see this one. First CH2OH, where we have to place. Okay. So from here I am giving a, that is first called CH2OH, I am placing here. CH2OH. Okay. CH2OH. Next, OH will be at the, that is left side one. Okay, left side one. So this is our second carbon, student. This is second carbon. This is third carbon. This is fourth carbon. This is fifth carbon, student. Okay, and sixth carbon will be upside. Sixth carbon will be upside. Right. CH2OH will be here. What is the position of CH2OH, student? CH2OH is at which position? Right side. Right side means down. Left side means up. Left is up. OH is at left side. So we have to write upside position. OH. Okay. This is first carbon. This is the first carbon. Okay, second. Next in third carbon, where is the OH, student? OH is at left side. Left side means up. So we have to write OH group at left side, up. Down, what we have to write, student? We have to write that is hydrogen. Because hydrogen is at the right side. Hydrogen is at the right side. We have to, that is, we have to draw it down. Hydrogen. Come to fourth carbon, student. Fourth carbon, where is hydrogen? Hydrogen is at left side, up. OH group, where it is, students? OH group is at right side, down. Fifth carbon, that is, you can take CH2OH up. Hydrogen is down. This we are calling it as beta D minus fructofuranose. Beta D minus fructofuranose. I hope you understood, students. You see, compare the structure with that structure with this structure, so you will be understood clearly. Okay. First, have a look. That is, you can see for a while. You can compare both the structures, beta D minus fructofuranose. So cyclic Haber structures I have drawn. Very important, student. So you can compare both structures. So here, where is the oxygen? Here you can see the oxygen is connected at second carbon as well as fifth carbon. In ring also you can see. So the second carbon and fifth carbon both are attached with the oxygen. Okay, students. Just have a look of the structures for a while. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in message in chat box. See, students. See the structure for a while. And if you have any doubts for the structure, then you can see. Just to compare that structure with this structure, students. Understood or not? Are you able to draw that this one? If you are able to draw, because this is very important, students, for board point of view, you have to draw the structures. You have to keep it in your mind. You have to draw. Shall we proceed to the that is next to that is topic that is called, we are calling it as disaccharide, students. So again, okay, I will explain once again if you have any doubts. One student they are asking once again. Okay, once again I will explain. Okay, students, I hope you understood. Okay, fine, students. Now let us proceed. The next one. Students, you can ask any doubts regarding that one. Okay, students, let us proceed further. So one student they are asking once again explain. So here you can see just a minute, students. I will keep charging this laptop. Charging is going to get in just a minute. Give 1 minute time. Okay, students. Once again, I draw the structure. You can see the one student is asking. Let us draw structure. Just I will draw. One structure only I will explain, either alpha or beta. Let me explain the alpha structure. Okay, students. First, you have to draw like this. The alpha structure means the OH group is at right side. OH group is at right side. Okay. Next, same as glucose. Okay, students, same as glucose. Here I have to rub just a minute. This is what we are calling as alpha D glucopyranose. Sorry, alpha D fructopyranose. Have a structure how we have to draw. Draw the 5-member ring like this. First you draw a 5-member ring. After drawing a 5-member ring, then you are going to get this. Fine, students. So 5-member ring you have to draw. So I will give the numbering. So numbering you have to do 1, 2, so that in order to write correct structure, numbering is very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also the same I am giving. That is first carbon here, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Here first carbon is CH2OH. You write the CH2OH here. Write the CH2OH here. Okay. Where is the first carbon? Here the first carbon is CH2OH. That you write here. CH2OH. Next down right side OH. Left what is their third carbon? At left side what is their OH? That you have to write up here. Left side up, right side down. Right hydrogen is there. That you have to write down. Next H up, OH is down. CH2OH you write up, H you write here. I hope you understood, student. One student has asked. Okay. The student who has asked, have you understood or not? Please message in chat box, student. Yes, Moinuddin, have you understood or not? You asked me to once again explain. Have you understood? Yes. And one student is asking about that is what is the difference between anomers and epimers. Shall I explain once again anomers and epimers? Okay. What are anomers and epimers? See students, what is meant by anomers and epimers? Many students are posting, so still some students doesn't have got clarity about anomers and epimers. Students, now I am saying very clearly, listen carefully. Anomers means which is having the configuration. Just a minute. Anomers means, here I will write here. Anomers means what are anomers? Which have change in configuration, which have change in configuration at C1 carbon, at C1 carbon. Okay, at one carbon first, you remember that anomers means which is having the change in configuration at one carbon, which is at C1 carbon. Understood? So I will draw a skeletal structure here so that you can understood here. So I have taken that is a 5 carbon straight chain here, 5 carbon straight chain. All these are the asymmetric carbons. Let us assume that all these are asymmetric carbons. What is meant by asymmetric carbons? Carbons which are attached to 4 different groups. Okay. If the configuration is changed at the first carbon, that we are calling it as anomers, students. Anomers. Now, if the configuration is changed at any carbon other than first carbon, if the configuration is changed at second carbon or third carbon or any carbon. Suppose if the configuration is changed at the second carbon, let us say that the configuration is changed at second carbon. If it is changed at second carbon, this we are calling it as epimers. If the configuration is changed at third carbon, okay, now we will take at third carbon. This we are calling it as C3 epimers. This we are calling it as C2. If the third carbon is changed at if the configuration is changed at the fourth carbon, that we are calling it as C4 epimers. That means other than first carbon, if the configuration is changed at any carbon, that is like a second carbon or third carbon or fourth carbon, that we are calling it as epimers. If the configuration is changed only at first carbon only, that we are calling it as anomers, C1 anomers. We are calling it. Other than first carbon, if the configuration is changed at any carbon, that we are calling it as epimers. Here in the case of fructose, that is the configuration is changed at the second carbon. That's why we are calling it as C2 epimers. We are calling it as C2 epimers. Why we are calling it as C1 is nothing. C1 is nothing. Okay. C1, why we are saying that? Why we are saying that C1 means in order to avoid confusion. Because students has to understood that C1 anomers, why we are saying means because the configuration has changed at the first carbon. That's why we are calling it C1 anomers. That means C1 anomers are same, or if you say anomers also same. Okay, it will give same meaning, students. Don't get confused. Okay, in some textbooks, they will be giving C1 anomers. In some other textbooks, they are giving only anomers. So it means that C1 anomers and anomers means the configuration is changed at the first carbon. Other than first carbon, if the configuration is changed at the second or third or fourth, means that we are calling it as epimers. I hope you understood, students. What is the difference between anomers and epimers? Please message in chat box, students, because many students, they are getting confused about anomers and epimers. Students, have you understood or not? Please message in chat box. What is the difference between anomers and epimers? Anomers means nothing but if the configuration is changed at the first carbon, that we are calling as anomers. Other than first carbon, if the configuration is changed at any other carbon, that we are calling as epimers. If it is changed at second carbon, C2 epimers. If it is changed at third carbon, we are calling as C3 epimers. Students, have you understood the difference between anomers and epimers? Anomers means only at first carbon. Epimers means other than first carbon. That's it. And if they are mentioning the position of any carbon means C2 or C3 means that is at with respect to that carbon, the configuration is C2 epimers means which is configuration at second carbon. C3 epimers means at third carbon, like that. Hope you understood. Okay, students. Just I will take within 5 minutes. I will complete the class. Don't go anywhere. So this is about the that is monosaccharide called fructose, and next I will go. I am giving the introduction of about the disaccharide. Okay. Now I am giving the just introduction of the disaccharide. After this, I will end the session. Disaccharide students. Okay. What monosaccharides completed students? Monosaccharide we have studied. That is uh, we have what we have studied students monosaccharides we have studied glucose as well as fructose. Now disaccharides we are studying. Just a minute students. Wait students, the window has been closed. Just a minute. So disaccharides we have to discuss students. What is meant by disaccharides? Okay, disaccharides are nothing but it is made up of two monosaccharide units students, that we are calling it as disaccharides. Okay students, just a minute students, you will get this. Students, are you able to see the screen now? Students, are you able to see the screen? Just I will give the introduction of the disaccharides. Are you able to see the screen or not, students? Hope everybody are able to see the screen. Fine. Students, you have to practice this structure, students. Very, very important, students. Structures you have to practice. Please read this after completion of this class. Let us have a look of the disaccharides. Within 2 to 3 minutes, I will end the session, students. Don't go anywhere. Just I will give the introduction for this disaccharide, students. Disaccharides are nothing but it is made up of disaccharides are made up of two monosaccharides. Disaccharides, okay, disaccharides are made up of two monosaccharides. Are made up of two monosaccharides. So disaccharides on hydrolysis, you are going to get 2 units of monosaccharides. 2 units of monosaccharides. Disaccharides on hydrolysis, you are going to get 2 units of monosaccharides. Right, students? So here, that means if you are taking the sucrose, sucrose is an example of the, that is a disaccharide. So the sucrose on hydrolysis, student, you are going to get that is one glucose unit and one fructose unit, students. One glucose unit as well as one fructose student, and that means 2 different units. Okay, and if you are taking maltose on hydrolysis, maltose also comes under disaccharide, student. It will give 2 units of glucose. 2 units of glucose. That means disaccharide and hydrolysis, it may give 2 same units or 2 different units, students. That I want to say. Okay. So this is about the disaccharides introduction, and tomorrow I will start that is sucrose as well as that is maltose as well as lactose. Okay. These 3 I am going to discuss, students. Tomorrow also, please be in the class. Please come to the class. Tomorrow, very important, student. Sucrose, maltose as well as lactose. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask, students.